Public blockchains are excellent for verification, but they create a serious problem for institutions. If a fund, a bank, or a treasury desk tokenizes real-world assets on-chain, the market should not be able to read investor balances, transfer amounts, or internal settlement activity. Standard ERC-20 infrastructure exposes too much. Fully off-chain systems hide too much. RWAOS is built for the space in between, confidential asset movement on a public chain, with compliance and auditability preserved. RWAOS is an operating layer for confidential real-world assets. It combines a Next.js institutional dashboard, a Rust backend, tenant-owned smart contracts, and the iExec NOx protocol. The goal is not only to move tokens privately, the goal is to let institutions issue assets, transfer them confidentially, disclose data selectively, and still produce an audit trail that a regulator or auditor can verify. The first step for an institution is ownership. RWAOS does not force every institution into one shared token contract. The institution deploys its own contract bundle from its own wallet. The bundle includes a confidential token, a disclosure registry, a transfer controller, an audit anchor, and, when settlement is enabled, a settlement vault. This matters because the institution remains the owner of its asset infrastructure, while RWAOS provides the guided operating system around it. A concrete use case is treasury settlement. The institution can lock public RWAUSDT at the boundary, then mint a confidential representation, RWAUSDT. From that point, internal settlement can happen with confidential tokens. The public chain can verify that assets entered the vault, but it does not reveal every internal amount movement. The NOx proof is generated from the connected wallet, and the encrypted amount is passed into the smart contract instead of exposing the value as plaintext call data. Asset issuance follows the same model. The issuer defines the asset, selects the beneficiary wallet, and enters the initial supply. RWAOS generates the encrypted amount and input proof in the browser through the connected wallet. The smart contract receives the confidential payload, validates it through NOx, and mints the ERC-7984 confidential token without exposing the minted amount publicly. This is where privacy and compliance meet. Before a confidential transfer is submitted, RWAOS checks whether the sender wallet is mapped, whether the recipient wallet is valid, whether a disclosure grant exists, and whether the transfer controller is authorized as an operator. The amount is used locally to generate a NOx encrypted payload. The transaction submits the encrypted amount and proof, not a public transfer value. So the institution gets private movement, while the system still enforces policy before execution. Confidentiality is only useful if authorized parties can still review what they are allowed to review. That is why RWAOS includes selective disclosure. An issuer can grant a specific wallet access to a specific disclosure scope with an expiry period. The auditor or regulator gets the evidence they need without opening the entire ledger to the public. This is the difference between privacy and secrecy. RWAOS is private but still accountable. After a transfer, RWAOS can produce a compliance passport. The passport links the transfer record, disclosure scope, policy hash, and audit anchor into one reviewable evidence package. Then the audit trail shows the operational lifecycle: asset issuance, disclosure, confidential transfer, passport issuance, and verification events. The important point is simple. Auditors can verify that the process happened correctly without needing every private amount to become public.